Hi, I'm Teryn and welcome back to my channel if you've been here before, and if you're new, I make a lot of skincare focused beauty content as well as fashion and life content. If that interests you, please be sure to check out my other videos, like this video, and subscribe. Okay, so what led me to this video? So I was actually watching Dune and I realized that I still have a really strong love and passion to do costume design. And while I was sitting in Charleston, South Carolina, that doesn't have a huge film or theater presence or doesn't have a lot of things to do with fashion design, that type of career path, I was wondering, what am I doing with my life? And I thought back, I was like reflecting on decisions that I made in the past and why, if I want to work in fashion, why didn't I just move to New York City after I graduated, or even LA, or maybe even overseas and worked in a European city to work in fashion. And I was just thinking back to like why I made that decision, but I made those choices for a reason, to not live in those cities. And I just had to think back and stop kind of getting imposter syndrome and thinking about the what ifs, and just think back to like, I did have a plan and there was a reason why I decided not to do that. So after I was kind of like flustered and like very confused and like kind of feeling like I'm not where I should be in life, I just had to sit back and think that I did have a plan and there was a reason why I made those choices. Okay, so originally my plan was to live in a smaller city and stack up my money, which isn't really going the way that I wanted, but I was gonna live in a smaller city, get some experience, stack up, and then go to a larger market instead of starting off in a larger market. But I'm still like happy with the decision I made to not do that, despite, you know, I look around at my peers and some of them are, you know, further ahead because of decisions that they made to go to those larger markets quicker and sooner and right after college or right after their studies. I feel like we can get kind of into our thoughts about what other people may look at us and think like, oh, she's a fashion designer, why is she not in New York City, or why is she not in Los Angeles, why is she not in Paris? But I think we can get too consumed with what other people think, and I really try to aim, and I feel like I'm very proud of myself of not worrying about what other people think about me. I think sometimes those thoughts just get into our heads, and it's basically what we are thinking of ourselves and not really from the vantage point of other people looking at us. So for instance, I have like 11 jobs. Like I have this YouTube, I have a podcast, working on my fashion label, and there's so many other things that I want to do, like I mentioned, pursuing a career in costume design and just that type of thing. And I think people look at me crazy because there are so many things that I want to do, and I plan to accomplish and do all of the things, to be honest. And I honestly look to the likes of like Issa Rae, who, you know, started off on YouTube. She has her own production company. I think she even has her own, I want to say she has her own music label, but you know, she's worked in film, TV, like she's doing a lot. She produces, she writes, she creates, like she wears many hats. And I look up to people that do that, especially seeing, like personally, me watching her start off on YouTube, and she was probably somewhere else, but I remember seeing her Awkward Black Girl series on YouTube, and now just watching the final season of Insecure is just super inspiring for me. And I just love how she does not limit herself to one box. Like it's not just comedy, like she'll do serious stuff and just expand her creative talents to wherever, you know, she wants to touch on. I look to La Roche, like he's a judge on a TV show, like he's an incredible stylist. He had his own store, like he just does a lot of hats within the fashion industry as well, and I look up to them as well. Virgil Abloh passed away a week ago to the release of this video, and since I've just been, you know, remembering seeing his work when I was a college student studying fashion design, and just looking back on his work, his impact, his influence on others. And I just think it's incredible that he was able to touch on so many different sectors of art, like music, fashion, entertainment, like so many different sectors. And he was okay to do it. He was free to do it. People enjoyed seeing him do it. And just looking back on his legacy, it reminded me that I don't have to limit myself to a box. I don't have to just limit myself to one sector within fashion or anything really, and I can just do what it is that I want to do and will set out to do. The title of this video is like, my life isn't chaotic, it's actually exciting, or something to that nature. And I do a lot of things. Like I think if you look at what I'm doing, like my podcast, my blog, my YouTube, fashion label, costume design, and then I'm also learning more about tech related fields, and I'm trying to kind of not dive completely into tech, but I want to integrate fashion and tech in a way that isn't really about wearable technology, but just trying to make the platforms that we use to view and obtain like fashion, I want to make those better. So that is like another project that I'm working on. So it's a lot going on, but the things that I do, the things I learn, the things I want to pursue, they're all things that I enjoy doing. It's not like I'm forcing myself to do these things. And I feel like with life, you know, a lot of people are just, okay, so I'm gonna become a nurse, I'm gonna stick with nursing the whole thing. I might do travel nursing, I might do some sort of specialty, but I'm gonna be a nurse through and through. So I think a lot of people, when they do have a path that's like pretty straight, or that's just what they want to do, and there's nothing wrong with just having a straight path, I think sometimes they can see people, especially like creator types or just like people in general, that like to bounce around from job to job, because I enjoy learning new things. I enjoy trying new things, and there's so many factors of life and factors within the world that I just enjoy. So I think some people might look at me like I'm crazy, but I know what I'm doing. Despite me doing a lot of things, like I'm very strategic about what I do. Some people might see it as me like wandering around aimlessly through life, which honestly can be a little bit fun. But yeah, I think if you ever watch the show Girlfriends, I think people might look at me and see like Lynn, but I do have a job and I'm not like a forever student. So, and honestly, if you do want to walk around aimlessly through life, like who cares? Like, do you? Life is really just about figuring things out and trying to, for me, just to keep doing things that you enjoy doing. And like, honestly, like me personally, I want to be able to help other people like me, like Black creatives in general, that, you know, just might need some funding, like maybe just need like a push to like be able to pursue what they really want to do. And one of the things I think that really limits people is that so many people had this push to accomplish things by the age of 30, and 30 is super young, 40 is young, even 50 is young. Like, I don't understand the big push to like accomplish all these things before the age of 30, because there's so many things that I want to continue doing. I don't want to reach my peak. Yeah, I just think in general, so many people hold things to that 3-0. By 30, I have to do da 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 da. I need to be secured by 30, like blah blah blah. And you can be secure, like you can still try out new things after the age of 30. Like, don't limit or hold yourself back because you want to do X, Y, and Z before a certain age. That's not how life works. Basically what I'm saying is like, you cannot exist on a timeline that you don't know. Even as we're like headed towards the end of the year, my goal is just to be more present. I live so much in the future. Like, I'm a Pisces, and they always say that we like to daydream, and that is definitely me. Like, I'm always daydreaming about my future. I'm always thinking about my future. And then the past few weeks of November, I've really been trying to be more present and just enjoy where I am now, instead of just being like, oh, I have to do this in order to get there. I have to do this in order to get there. And I can't do this because I'm trying to get to this point in life. And I've just been more present, and I've really been enjoying that. I was living so much in the future that I wasn't living in the present and really planting the seeds that I need to actually experience growth and have something in the future that I can actually nourish, water, and, you know, maintain and, you know, like I said, grow in the future. Like, I was not setting that stage for my life, and I just realized that. And I feel like honestly, we just have to get honest with things. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and be sure to check out my blog as well. It's www.terynaparker.com. And as always, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment for more videos. Thank you again.